Hi, Assalamualaikum. Today, me and my group will be present assignment 2 statistic. This is my group member. The first from the laptop is Iza Aikal bin Abbas. Next him is Ifan Azmi bin Muhammad Azlan. Next Ahmad Nur Alif Haikal bin Abdul Karim. Muhammad Rashidan bin Khairul Anwar, and last but not least is me Abdullah Alwi Al Karadawi bin Muhammad Ismail. This project also reflect UTM commitment to producing graduates who are not only technically competent but also capable of applying analytical reasoning in real-world context. The emphasis on statistical literacy here is exemplified the university focus on industry-relevant education and problem solving. Plus, the lecturer at UTM is so good, especially Puan Rahifa. This assignment is to apply our knowledge of sampling and probability to solve a real-world applicable situation. Based on sample data, we will use the normal distribution to determine the likelihood of specific outcome. Given our knowledge of the population as a whole, we will use techniques such as Z-test and standard deviation and mean to determine the likelihood of various outcomes. It's a practical approach to learning how inferential statistics support our ability to make informed judgment in real-world scenario.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Irfan Nazmi bin Muhammad Azlan. My matric number is B1123100057. Today, I will present about methodology. What is methodology for this assignment? The assignment employed a systematic approach to analyze four distinct statistical problems utilizing fundamental statistical concepts and hypothesis testing procedures. The methodology for each question was carefully selected based on the nature of on the data and research question. For question 1, sampling distribution analysis. Smart sensor lifespan. The analysis focus on determining the sampling distribution of the mean lifespan for 12 sensors and calculating the probability that the sample mean exceeds 152 months. Using Z-score and the normal distribution, the methodology confirmed the manufacturer's claim while quantifying the likelihood of observed variations, demonstrating how sampling theory applies to qualified control scenarios. For question 2, normal probability application. The question about battery weight. In part A, calculate that 60.6% of individual batteries weigh between 240 equal to 265 gram using normal distribution properties. While in part B, determine a 34.46% probability that a sample mean, which is n equal to 9, will fall below 248 gram. The analysis distinguishes between population and sampling distributions, highlighting how standard error affect small sample probabilities in manufacturing quality assessment. In question 3, large sample hypothesis testing. The question about safety boot pricing. A two-tailed Z-test compare sample price, which is mean equal to 698.76 ringgit and equal to 50 to the 100 ringgit benchmark, yielding a p-value which is 0.072 that fail to reject HO. The methodology demonstrates hypothesis testing for market research, emphasizing that statistical insignificance, which is p more than 0.05, does not necessarily imply practical equivalent in pricing strategies. Last but not least, for question 4, small sample t-testing. The question about calcium intake. A left tail t-test which is n equal to 10, analyze teenagers. Calcium intake, which is mean equal to 980.5 mg. Rejecting HO with strong evidence, which is P less than 0.01, supporting the nutritionist claim. The small sample methodology showcased T distributions, robustness, and the importance of effect size interpretation in public health research, where even modest deficiencies may warrant intervention. The key methodology that we learned: first, distributional assumptions. Normal distributions was assumed where appropriate verified through problem statements. Number two, sample size considerations. Differentiate between z-test, which is large value of n, and t-test, which is small value of n. Number three is test selection. Mesh test type, which is 1 divided by 2 tail to research question. Number 4, significant interpretation. Balance statistical result with practical implications. Number 5, which is last, the key methodology, computational methods. Combine manual calculation with theoretical distribution. Thank you. That's all for me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Nur Al-Faikal bin Abdul Karim and my matric number is B1123101115. So for the question 1, A, we use a formula of standard deviation and mean, which is equal to standard deviation divided by square root of n. So the answer is 10 divided by square root 12. I can get 2.89 as an answer. So for the n, which is there is a mean and standard deviation and mean, and I replace the mean of 150 month, and the answer I get just now, which is 2.89. So for the question 1b, find the probability that the sample means life spent in more than 152 months. So I change the equation to Z type, which is I can get a mean, the mean that given by the question minus the original of mean, which is 152 minus 150, and divide by the standard deviation, divide square root of 12. And then I, because of the type Z, which is Z more than the, so actually I use the 1 minus the Z type because of Z is the question was asking for a Z type of more than 152 months. So for the result question 2, to get the percentage of battery weight between 240 gram and 265 gram, I change to the Z type first, which is Z between 240 and 265. So I use the same equation, which is the weight of 240 minus the original mean and divide by 15, and also the another gram, which is 265 minus 250 and divide by the 15, and then I can get a Z type which is between negative 0.67 and 1. So using the table, I change the Z type to the, so from the Z type I change the Z type to the point which is Z less than 1, which is 0.8413, and for the Z less than negative 0.67, which is 0.2514. So 0.1413 minus 0.2514, which is I can get 0.5899. So I multiply with the 100 to get a percentage, then I can get a 58.99%. Continue to the question 2b. To get a random sample of number 3 is selected, the probability that the sample mean weight is less than 248 gram. So I change to the Z type, which is Z less than 248, and then 248 minus with the original mean, which is 250, divide by the 15, divide by the square root of 9. Then I can get a negative zero point 0.4. Using the table, I find the negative zero point 0.4 and change to the point which is 0.3446. That's all from me.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Aika Abid Abbas. My nomenclature is B1123100300. Okay, now I want to present about result question 3. Okay, given data is sample size and is 50 shop, sample mean X is RM 98.76 cents.
Assalamualaikum.
Sample standard
My name
deviation
is Irfan Azmi.
RM 5 ringgit 76 cents. Historical benchmark is mu RM 100. 100 significance level alpha is 0.05, means 5%. H0, the mean price is equal to the historical benchmark. H1 is the mean price differ from the benchmark. This equation is this is a two-tailed test because we are checking for any different, not just higher or lower. The test statistic Z test is since the sample size is large, sample equal to 50, we use the Z test even though the population standard deviation is unknown, the sample size justifies using the normal approximation. The formula for the test statistic is Z test equal to means minus mu divided by S divided by square root sample. Substitute substitute the given value. Z test is can we can get Z test is negative 1.52. P value calculation. Since this is a two-tailed test, the p value is calculated as p value minus 2, p value equal to multiply pz less less than negative 1.52. Thus, the total p value is p value equal to 2 multiply 0.0643 and can get we can get 0.1286. Decision rules: if p value less than alpha 0.05, reject HO. If p value more than alpha 0.05, fail to reject HO. Here 0.1286 more than 0.05, so we fail to reject HO. The conclusion: there is not enough evidence to conclude that the current market price differs significantly from the historical benchmark of RM100. The company does not need to review its pricing strategy because The observed difference is not statistically significant at the 5% level. Okay, next, move to result for question 4. Okay, we move to question 4. Title: Hypothesis Test Teenagers Calcium Intake. Today we are testing whether teenagers' average daily calcium intake is below the recommended 1,200 mg as claimed by Nutrients. We will use a sample of 10 teenagers to make this determination. On screen data, sample is given and is HO mu more than equal 1,200 and H1 is mu less than 1,200. Average intake is less as claimed. This is a left tail test because the nutrition claims intake has decreased. And now we calculate sample mean and standard deviation. Step 1, the mean. When we calculate, mean we can get 918 mg. Standard deviation is 91.95 mg. Okay, the sample mean is 980 mg, below 1000 mg, 1200 mg, but is this difference statistically significant. Okay, so we can move to conduct the t-test. The t-test, we can get negative 7.57. Critical value is alpha equal to 0.01, differ equal to 9. T alpha is equal to negative 2.821 to 1 from the T table. Okay. Our calculated T value is negative 7.57, is far left of the critical value is negative 2.821. This is falls deep into the rejection region. Graph of T distribution with shaded rejection region left tail and market T equal to negative 7.57 and comparison T equal to 7.57 more than T critical is equal to 2.821 is a reject HO. At the 1% innovation level, we reject the null hypothesis. There are strong evidence that teenagers' average calcium intake is less than 1,200 mg. The nutrition claim is supported intervention to improve calcium intake may be needed. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Rashdan bin Khairanoa. My number metric is B1123100005. Okay, I want to take apart conclusion. So, to sum up, this assessment demonstrates the practical application of sampling and probability. We get a better understanding of how statistics may assist us in understanding data and coming to more informed conclusion by solving these challenges. This is a full method of demonstrating how we figure we compute truly count and may be applied to comprehend the world we live in. So, why should a student choose UTEM? So first, UTEM is Malaysia's first technical public university, which means it is place a strong focus on practical and hands-on learning. Students here don't just study theories; they apply them through real-world project, labs, and industry training. So second, UTEM offer industry-relevant programs, especially in engineering, ICT, and technology. The university works closely with the industry, so students graduate with skills that employers are looking for. So, lastly, UTM has a modern campus environment, equipment with advanced facilities and labs, making it a great place to study and innovate. So that's all.